Gerd von Rundstedt, born December 12, 1875, was a German field marshal who was one of Adolf Hitler's ablest leaders during World War II. He held commands on both the Eastern and Western fronts, played a major role in defeating France in 1940, and led much of the opposition to the Allied offensive in the West in 1944–45. An officer in the army from 1893, Rundstedt rose during World War I to become Chief of Staff of an army corps and assisted in the reorganization of the Turkish General Staff. He remained in the army after the war and was active in Germany's secret rearmament both before and after Hitler came to power. He retired in 1938 as senior field commander but returned to active duty to command an army group in the Polish campaign at the outbreak of World War II. Later, on the Western Front, he took part in the implementation of the plan that defeated France in 1940. As head of Army Group B, he led the breakthrough that sealed France's fate. He was, however, partly to blame for the order to halt the German armour, allowing the British to escape from Dunkirk. During the invasion of the Soviet Union, beginning in June 1941, he commanded the German southern wing, which overran almost all of Ukraine before winter. When a Soviet counteroffensive forced a retreat, Hitler dismissed the aged field marshal. Returning to duty in July 1942, Rundstedt became commander-in-chief in Western Europe and fortified France against an expected Allied invasion. Unable to defeat the Anglo-American invasion forces in 1944, he was replaced in July but returned in September to direct the Ardennes offensive that disrupted the military timetable of the Western Allies for several months. Relieved for the third time in March 1945, he was captured by US troops in May but was released because of ill health. Though the scion of an aristocratic Prussian family and highly disdainful of Hitler and Nazism, he refused to participate in the plots against the Führer in which many of his fellow officers were involved, and he was repelled by the attempt on Hitler's life in July 1944. Even Rundstedt's opponents recognized his considerable military talents, which were displayed in a career that spanned half a century. General Dwight D. Eisenhower called him the ablest of the German generals of World War II.